It's great to be here with Yehuda Glick. I'm with the InterMountain Christian News, and yesterday we had a meeting about UNRWA, which stands for the United Nations Relief Workers Agency, and the concern about there's the issue of U.S. tax dollars funding UNRWA and other nations, and we had a lot of concerns, and I heard your presentation yesterday about this issue. And one of those issues was a lot of the donor nations and the money going in here and being wasted, and used for these curriculum in the schools to incite kids to violence against the Jews. So for our listeners, what would, to follow up, what would you say about this issue, this concern?
You would expect if an organization begins with UN and United Nations, you imagine somebody that's interested in bringing peace and solving problems and promoting, bringing us to a better place and to a much more peaceful situation. And when we look at the facts, it's very sad to see that so many people around the world are investing so much goodwill and so many dollars for that purpose, are actually, not only are they not solving problems, they're making the problems much more sophisticated. They're turning the problems into becoming just long-lasting instead of bringing a solution. And we look at the refugee camps, which is one of the most, I think no place in the world we have refugee camps that are still there 70 years later, and these people could have had so much hope. And you get the feeling that somebody has a real interest to freeze the situation. And it really, and I'm so happy that yesterday we spoke about it and we brought up the issue, and I think the people that came in got a deeper understanding about the need to really stop this and let people know where their dollars are going.
It's really a serious concern in the U.S. As you may know, I was at the White House and got a denial statement. When I was there in March, I asked about, what about the U.S. tax dollars that are going into the UNRWA and this money being used or siphoned off to go into to support this hateful school curriculum? And the White House responded in denial that there's a problem. They said that they've cleaned up their act. They're not doing this anymore.
If you close your eyes, it doesn't mean that the situation disappears. And if you repeat a sentence again and again, you repeat a lie again and again, it doesn't become true. I think anybody, doors are open. You can go visit and see for your own self. And we saw yesterday videos that were filmed now. I'm talking to you right now. We're in the mid-July 2016. We just now the summer schools, vacation in these refugee camps. We saw the parties they celebrated the end of the school year. One again and again are children being instigated, children being incited to go and train to kill the Jews and to really believe that one day they're going to be able to kill all the Jews. And instead of giving these kids signs, teaching these kids to look to invest in their future, and they're stuck teaching and encouraging these poor kids to stay in this sad situation.
This is a very serious concern I need to share with other Christian newspapers. We have about 17 million readers of Christian newspapers in the U.S. and Canada. And so I want to get this message out. So I'm sending
a message out from Jerusalem. You see with the Temple Mount in my background, World Center for Peace and United. And here we have a chance of a place which is sanctified to so many different religions. And we say, let the message of peace come from here, and make sure your investments are investing for a future of peace instead of for a future of war and bloodshed.
Well, it was very disturbing, as I mentioned, about the White House. I got an angry response because I shared this concern with other news reporters. But it was considered a badge of honor.
I don't want to, I don't want to interfere in other countries' politics, and I don't think it's fair. Just like I don't want other administrations involved in what's going on. What we did yesterday was not getting involved, just showing the facts and inviting people to start to learn and ask questions.
Yeah, of course, in the U.S. Congress, there actually is an attempt to deal with this issue with legislation this summer, and Senator Risch is the chairman of the subcommittee of foreign relations, and there's one in the Congress as well. I'm just curious about what other Knesset members have taken serious interest besides you here.
Look, I believe the caucus of the Jewish Israel Parliament and the Christian communities will probably take a stand on the issue, and I'm sure from here we will be in touch, and we will definitely be a meditator with all the Knesset members on the issue. And I'm happy that I had the privilege of hosting this committee, this conference yesterday, and we will continue working on front. And I believe the chairman of the Knesset himself, a member of Knesset Yuli Edelstein, will definitely do his best to help us out.
What do you know about the Likud Party and maybe their possible interest in this UNRWA issue?
Look, I think Yair Lapid, who's the head of the Likud, is lately becoming. He was in the past really somebody who was closing his eyes to these things, and I think he's becoming more aware. And I think there is a hope that we will be able to get him involved in the issue also. I can hope it. I'm not his spokesman.
You know, it was mentioned yesterday. It's so important for the U.S. to take the lead here because the U.S. is one of the leading donor nations about this issue.
Yeah, but as I said, Yair Lapid has been speaking strongly out of it against all the delegitimization of Israel, and I think he will probably take a stand on this issue also. And I'm quite convinced that he will. I mean, it's facts. It's not an opinion. It's fact.
Right. I want to mention that evangelical Christian leaders in America, they oppose this UNRWA issue and this violence. And they honor the two of Israel's great kings, David and Solomon, and they see a solution to terrorism found in Psalms 33:12 and 2 Chronicles 7:14. You're familiar with those?
Yes, I'm quite familiar, but I really like to connect to Isaiah 2, which speaks about a world, a no more war, no more bloodshed, coming from a message of all the nations. So when you have a place which is sanctified to different religions, there's a possibility of friction. There's also a possibility of cooperation. And I think that the evangelical leaders in the world should have a say. And I even see that as part of the redemption process, because if I would tell you 100 years ago that there would be millions of Christians in the world supporting a Jewish state in Israel, it would sound pretty peculiar. And here we have it, see it in front of you. It's happening.
But I don't know if you know who Billy Graham is, very famous, right?
Yes.
His son, Franklin Graham, is touring all the 50 states in America, calling America to repent. You know, the churches and all that. He's saying that we need to honor God again.
Okay. I start with myself. I hope I'll repent.
I hope I do.
Okay, so when I finish dealing with my problems and my sins, I'll deal with other people's sins. But I think everybody, we could look back at history and join this wonderful, godly phenomena which is happening here in the Middle East.
I want to encourage people to pray for you and all those here,
Thank
and
you so
for Israel and America. But we are in perilous times, and it's a miracle that you're here after your encounter with terrorism. That you are a miracle.
He picked me up, he embraced me, and he said, "Yehuda, get to work. Your mission's not over." So my mission's not over.
It's a blessing to be with you today, and may you have a great day, and Israel for peace.
And I'll take advantage of this moment and thank all of those around the world, and many of your 17 million viewers who prayed for me and were caring and were really with me in their heart. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'd love to say from Hatikva, I like the last part of the Hatikva, Lihod Amhovshi Be'eretzenu Be'eretzion Be'Yerushalayim.
Okay, Tzion is Temple Mount.
Yes, a beautiful thing. Thank you.